Hey everybody, welcome to Love and Relo, the voice of the relocation industry. I am your host, Ben Cross, and I am here with someone whom I admire, who I follow, who gives me joy and light and inspiration. Rapheal Mathis, client service specialist at Relo Direct and poet laureate of the relocation industry. How are you, Rapheal?
I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself, Ben?
Dude, I'm blessed, man. I'm so happy. I took a week off. I am recharged. I am relocated, and I
Yes,
am reinvigorated.
I love it. I love to hear that. Are you all settled in and good?
Settled is an overstatement. If you can see, like, I got like pictures, totes, boxes, screwdriver, random tools. Basically, it's a mess. But this right here, this is great.
Yes,
This is
that's
lovely right
the
here.
frame is all that matters at the end of the
Yes,
day.
exactly. I got good light right now. I'm like not in a basement. I mean, this is great. A few too many doors. That's okay. We'll sort it out.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. It's Monday at the top of the week. So, you're getting over the Mondays. And it's snowy here in Chicago, but I'm glad to be in the house.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And real quick, everybody that's watching right now, I want you to get involved. The show is really about you. We're here to really talk to you and to hear from you. And so any of your questions, comments, please leave them there. I want to know who you are, where you are, what you're up to right now. Go ahead and hit that like button, throw a little heart out there to Raphael.
I
Raphael, where in
love
the
it.
world are you right now, man?
So I am in Chicago, Illinois, the great windy city.
The Shy, checking in from the
Yes,
Shy Town. All
checking
right.
in from Shy. Yes.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We got
Um,
people checking in right now. Hit that like button, everybody. Tim Quirk, looking forward to this great show from Western New York.
I love it.
What's up? Are you getting some of this snow, Raphael, or no?
Yes, I'm getting this.
You're getting it? Okay.
Yeah. I'm getting you mean the comments, correct?
No, the snow. Are you getting the
Oh,
snow
the
right now? The
snow.
frozen
Ben,
precipitation.
Ben, let me tell you, it has not stopped snowing for like a week. I think every day it snows at some point.
Oh my
For
goodness
like the
gracious.
last week, and it's cold. Like right now, I think it's literally like 1 degree outside right now.
Is it really? Because my
Oh
friends
yeah.
in Detroit were telling me that it's actually warmer in Detroit than it was 7 here in Dallas. Wild stuff.
Wow.
I know, right? Julie Coleman, happy Monday. Ben and Raphael coming to you from snowy Houston.
Uh,
See?
hey, and I'm praying for the people in Houston because Houston isn't built for the snow.
Oh, we don't
So
know
the
what to
fact that
do.
this has been happening probably been driving everybody crazy.
We're hopeless down here. Please pray. Michael, send prayers and salt and shovels. Michael Quigley, Ben, did the snow follow you from the D? Yes, it did. Mike, for sure. Alan King from Germany tuning in. What's up, Alan? Good to see
Hey,
you. Sandra Clary, looking forward to hearing from Raphael today and digging the knot today. Ben, I got that nice little Windsor there
yes.
for the people. Hope all are staying warm. Hey, and speaking of which, shout out to Sandra. Sandra was one of our winners from our 8 weeks of giving. Let's go ahead and plug that real quick. Let everybody know how we get down. So it is our 8 weeks of giving. Shout out to First Tech Federal Credit Union. We're doing 8 weeks of giving. We're doing a wine giveaway on Friday, 2 bottles. Go to loveandrelo.com/community. Go ahead and register. Don't wait till Friday. Get in now, okay? Loveandrelo.com/community, sponsored by First Tech Federal Credit Union. We're doing a drawing this Friday. Go check it out. Shout out to Sandra who got her wine. Hope you're doing well, Sandra. Betsy Ortolano from the Shy, checking in.
Hey.
Lisa Thomas from the D. All right. Rachel Taylor. I live 1.5 hours away from Chicago near Lake Michigan. We've been getting dumped on. See,
Duh.
you're on the wrong side of the lake, though, Rachel. See, she's on the Benton Harbor side, so she gets that
Mm,
lake effect. Do
yeah.
y'all get lake effect, or is
So
y'all kind of
I'm
on the wrong
I'm
side?
pretty close to the lake where I am. I'm pretty far east in Chicago, so I'm definitely getting some of that lake effect snow. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
All right. Diane checking in from blustery Chi-Town
Hey,
here.
Diane.
What's up? Mary Lee from Negative Tim's in Minnesota, not to be outdone. Minnesota. This is great. ATL's in the house. Erica Burton. What's up? Good to see you. First Federal Credit, my favorite bank. Yes, Alan, every week. Flattery will get you everywhere, my friend. Keep doing that. But don't forget to register. Nicola checking in. Good evening from Europe. Dory McBride
Dory.
and the D. Dory's the one that got me into the DRRC. Dory
Mm,
hooked me up when she was rolling off the board and got me in there. So shout out to Dory. Let me ask
Dory's good
you,
people.
Raphael, let me ask you your story. So people may not know you. We're going to get into all your poetry. We're going to get into all your inspiration. We're going to get into all the stuff that you're creating. But let's start before we get into the love. Let's start with the relo here. How
Okay.
did you get into the relocation biz?
So, I got into the relocation business right out of college. I graduated from Lake Forest College in 2017. And so during my time at Lake Forest College, I had a couple opportunities to do internships through this organization called Kaleidoscope. Now, Kaleidoscope is a nonprofit, and they have a internship program called Find Your Future, right? And so
Okay.
within Find Your Future, they connect different kids that are in some form connected with DCFS or with adoption, foster care, different things of that nature with corporations. And then they have the opportunity to intern with a corporation, get real experience, work life, all of that carries over after the college years, pretty much. So I had some contact with Reload Direct during that time. I met them at a few functions, some stuff for resume building, the end of the summer luncheons, different things of that nature.
So they were
So
already active at the college at Lake
yes,
Forest. Is that
no, so
right?
they were active through Kaleidoscope. So
Through
Kaleidoscope is the
Kaleidoscope.
nonprofit, and I did that during my time at Lake Forest. But Kaleidoscope is like that main organization nonprofit that Reload Direct was connected with.
Got it.
So post graduation, May graduate, woo, looking for a job.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
like, hey, oh wait, crap, I don't have a job.
exactly, I got bills to pay now. I got
Yeah,
bills.
exactly.
So I go to this luncheon benefit that Kaleidoscope was putting on. I was the MC, and I also performed a spoken word piece there. And so once again, I come in contact with Reload Direct, Diane Amos, who's one of the VPs at Reload Direct, Ann Merritt, who was at one time at Reload Direct, and Brandy Hout, the director, as I call her, so she's on here. Shout out, director. They were all there, saw me perform, MC, approached me afterward and said, "I think we have a position open." So got the information, applied, and the rest is history.
What
Literally,
did
the
they
rest
ever
is
tell
history.
you why they honed in on you as a potential applicant or potential new hire?
Yeah. So one thing is, so Diane, who I spoke about earlier, one of the senior vice president at Reload Direct, she had been to one of the year-end luncheons that Kaleidoscope puts on, where all the students have a chance to tell about their experience, and the stories that she heard there really spoke to her. And she said, "I need to be a part of Kaleidoscope. Like Reload Direct
Hmm.
needs to definitely come along as a corporate partner, and we need to see how we can help assist different things of that nature." So that was like a first touch point. And me and Diane didn't really speak at that event. So when I showed up at the luncheon for Kaleidoscope as a whole, as they're trying to raise funds and I'm just there doing my thing, having a good time,
Yeah.
then it's like, this is the perfect opportunity. So it was literally the right place, right time. And having that exposure already before that point, it kind of all worked together. Really
What
worked
what
together
was
well.
your story? I mean, if you don't mind sharing, I mean, we're kind of here to talk about stories and everything. I mean, what was your story that you shared there, if you don't mind sharing with us?
At the Kaleidoscope event, pretty much.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
basically, the story that I was sharing there. So we just getting real comfortable today. So by the end of this,
I
we're gonna be
mean,
family.
I hope so. I mean, hopefully he brings the potato
Yes,
salad over and we can hang out. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So basically, I am adopted. So that
Okay.
is, my story, my thing. And going through college, I kind of talked about how Kaleidoscope and the Find Your Future program allowed for me to have access to companies and resources that has helped hone me not only as a student at that time, but also a working professional, and how also now it has allowed for me to kind of use my spoken word in different places and in different ways. So that was kind of the story that I told and the lessons that I had learned during my time as being an intern. And so, telling that story and understanding that me before entering into the workforce, I was able to kind of pull on the different experiences that I had and then bring that all together and present that in such an effective way. I think that's kind of what kind of perked up the ears of the Reload Direct people to kind of say, hey, like this individual definitely has, you know, the know-how and understanding the different pieces that play a bigger role. And this may be something that we need here at Reload Direct. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. And I want to talk to you just a bit about how we can hire in different ways and source talent in different ways to achieve different results, right? I mean, so you know, I had a wonderful professional on, Valencia Culbreth, last year, and hopefully I can have her on again soon. But her big thing is about DEI, right? Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Yes.
And it's about how to foster that in organizations. And the scenario that you're describing seems like such a great scenario. And I don't know if it was done intentionally or if Diane just found herself in this situation. But it seems like we have to look in different places than like going to the same colleges and having the same booth and having the same pamphlet. You know, if we're going to truly move the needle on DE&I, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I definitely agree that you have to be a little bit unconventional. You have to think a little bit outside the box.
Hey, we're family. I'm gonna take my jacket off.
Hey, I'm here for it. Let's get comfortable.
Get comfortable.
You and everybody on here, let's get comfortable.
But take something off if you're watching this right now.
But I definitely do feel like the world and the society that we live in, that we need to really think outside the box on how we're really bringing in that next wave of talent, that next wave of, you know, fresh energy into the relocation industry. You know, youth, that's the name and the game that we're currently in. And where are youth? They are on social media. They are online. They are in the interwebs. And I think if companies, if they think like that and say, well, hey, let's go and meet them where they are, I think that's a good way to make sure that we constantly make sure that we find out where the talent is. But also the other great thing about it is that you keep your finger on the pulse of the culture, of the trends, of everything that is happening in the world, because the world can't really function without relocation. Relocation is definitely a foundation and a pillar that keeps the world turning. Without relocation, talent can't get from point A to point B.
I love what you're saying though about the younger generation having a handle on, you know, social media. And I want to almost drop social media because I feel like social media has a connotation or a negative stigma to it. And I want to just call it like media, you know, and I just want to call it the way that we communicate these days. And I got to tell you, as someone who is a creator in this space, I look at what you're doing and I think it is so incredible. It inspires me. I mean, Diane's talking about how inspirational you were to her, but it inspires me. I love the way that you lead with your spirit and the way that you are very, very transparent about who you are and the way you put that out there. I think that we are rapidly going through a shift in conventional wisdom around the way that we market ourselves and our companies.
Yes.
And I see people like you being at the forefront of that. And I feel like Reload Direct's super lucky to have you because you're so unabashedly who you are and out there with it. Can you tell me a little bit about your journey as far as your, I almost want to call it branding, but I feel like that's almost missing the point. The way that you communicate and the way that you move using media. Can you talk a little bit about your evolution there?
Definitely. So I
feel like when did you start getting into this and expressing yourself in this way?
Yeah, so definitely I feel like as far as expressing myself, especially through like spoken word and words and using it as my form of communication, I think that started way back in middle school, where I discovered, you know, poetry and spoken word and using this as a way to convey my message and what I hold dear to other people. And so from that, literally, I feel like everything has been building blocks from that point. So first the discovery there throughout high school, whether it was, you know, competing in different competitions, that kind of led me more into the poetry space and the communication space. You know, the different rooms that I found myself in, Just slight plug for myself. I was in 2013, I was the Illinois state champion for Poetry Out Loud, which is a national recitation poetry competition. So you recite other people's poems, finish first in the state, and then finish in the top 9 in the country. So, you like I said, those are those building blocks. Then you take it into college where, you get creative license and figure out how to
do whatever you want in college,
literally,
right? To your own, to your benefit or your detriment, you can do whatever you want. And there's probably a ton of open mic nights, and there's probably a ton of clubs around it, and a lot of support.
Exactly. And so
college is amazing.
There. It is. Oh my goodness.
Did you go away to school or did you stay home?
So Lake Forest is 40, 50 miles north of Chicago. So I was still close to family and different things of that nature, but far enough away where, you could forget.
But you lived there, but you stayed, you stayed there.
I stayed on campus.
It's funny, to sidebar, because I was listening to a podcast recently and they were talking about the impact on people's perceptions, on people's trust, on the factor of how much we trust one another. They're saying that people that went away to college and actually stayed on campus trusted people. First, they said people with a college degree trust people more than people without a college degree, is this study found. And then people that went away to college actually trusted people more than people that didn't go away to college. And actually some European countries who have the highest trust score in the world actually do this thing post-college where they actually live in dormitories as single young people in their early 20s. And so they continue this co-living thing. And I just think there's something to that where you learn a lot about people and yourself in the process. Exactly. But I didn't mean to take you off your track here. I'm sorry.
I think that's important before I jump back to the story is something that you're mentioning there. And what I really feel like I did learn in college specifically is that everyone has a story. Everyone has a background. Everyone has a foundation that they have grown from. And I feel like college really does give that space. And I thought it was only college because that's all I knew at the time. But I've learned, even in my professional career, that stories really power everything. And that when you get to know someone's story, that opens up so many relationships and different things of that nature with people. So college, I learned all of that. And I got to communicate that and express that. And so now, towards the end of college, entering into the professional space, I started to think, okay, how do I share what I have, not only with my immediate surroundings, but with more people? And that's where the media comes in. So it's like,
how did you start doing that? What was your first moment like that? We got some great comments coming in. Keep leaving those comments. Leave your questions. I want to get to all of them. We got some people coming in talking about some things. We're going to get to that. We got some people want to hear some spoken word. I'm going to see if I can get you into some of that because you got some amazing stuff. But what was your first foray into media?
So I think my first one was Poetic Mondays. So that is something that I do exclusively on my Instagram, where what I do is every Monday, I put up a post, post about something, and I ask my followers, to whoever comments first with 5 words, I take those 5 words, and then I create a spoken word piece from that. So somewhere in my craziness of a Monday, after I get those 5 words, I sit down, create the piece, take the words, throw them up on Instagram.
So let me understand. People hit you with the 5 words like early in the day or like Sunday or whatever.
Early in the day on Monday. Yeah.
Early Monday. It's okay. Call to action. Boom. People hit you with 5 words. And I'm assuming more than one person might hit you and you pick which 5 you want. And then you take those 5 and then you craft a bespoke poem from those 5. And then you drop that poem that night, basically.
That night.
Now, do you do a spoken word piece on it, or do you just publish the short form?
I just do the short form, and that was the beginning. But now what I've kind of drifted over to, especially because I just started back up, where after 2 weeks, I ask my followers to choose which one they like the most. And then I throw up the actual performance of me performing that poem. So that's that building on the whole media, side of it and using that to kind of infiltrate this space. So.
This is incredible. I love the engagement factor too, where people can like kind of almost vote for it or whatever. This is fantastic. So you started doing that. We've got people checking in here left and right. This is fantastic. I want to just get to a couple people real quick in the essence of engagement here. Yes. Oh my gosh, look at this. Erica Burton says, so exciting to see your growth from CRC.
Hey, Erica.
She's amazing. Erica's so much fun. Elizabeth, longtime fan, first time listener. Go Rapheal Mathis. Look at this. This is great.
Yes.
This is great. Dory checking in. Lisa Ross checking in. London's in the house.
Hey, what's London.
Up? Shout out to the Foresters.
Yes. Oh, I got
is that Lake Forest
here? Yeah.
Is that your mascot? The
That's
Foresters?
What we call Foresters. Yes. It's actually
like a bunch of trees.
It's a bear, but they call it a Forester. But you know, I don't question it. I just go with it.
I'm picturing like a bunch of like Stanford Cardinal trees, like, you know, dancing around like at the basketball game.
You would really think, because it's really literally we're in a forest tucked away. Literally.
Oh my gosh. Look at Bob Portali in the house.
Mr. Portali. Yes.
That's when you know you made it, when Bob comes to your show and graces
Exactly.
us.
Oh yeah. Bob is one of my major supporters, definitely at Reload Direct. Yeah, love Bob.
What's it like? Just side note here. What's it like having that kind of access and that kind of FaceTime with a guy like Bob? I think Bob's a CEO. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's the CEO of Reload Direct. Yeah.
What's that like having that access?
It's humbling, honestly, if I could just put it like that. I made a post today on Instagram, and I was pretty much talking about how I'm thankful that my voice and my presence can be trusted in certain spaces. And I think Bob has really trusted my voice and what I bring to the table in the different spaces, and has given me the liberty to be unconventional. So being able to have that access at the top tier senior leadership level, you know, you really have to stay humble with that and realize that, you know, it's a blessing, and you just kind of have to consider it like that and flow in that vein. So yeah.
But I mean, that's uncommon. That's uncommon because I'll tell you what, like, so I'm 38. I don't know. How old are you, Rapheal?
25.
25. Okay, so I got 13 years on you. I'm used to being the youngest guy in the room, and now like that's changing. That's changing, and it's kind of like I'm having to come to grips with it. But anyway, so I'm 38. But throughout my career, before, nobody talked about social media. And then when people start talking about social media, the first thing is, you gotta watch what you put on social media. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. And then people chilled with that for a little bit, and then it came back real heavy with like cancel culture, right? And then it was like, hey, you gotta watch what you put on social media. You know, and so I think, I mean, I gotta give Bob a big shout out, and I gotta give the people a really direct shout out, because I don't know how much they let you do what you do and how much you just do it and you just walk in that trust and that faith. But I mean, big shout out to the people there who allow you to be you and to put it out there and understand that your brand shining and the things that you do and the way that you inspire people just gives them shine too. You know?
Exactly. And I can definitely say that it has definitely been a partnership, you know, where I come and I partner my resources with the company and it lines up. And I think if I could just say this, I think it really speaks to the spirit of Reload Direct and kind of the culture of the company, because I definitely feel like they have always been open to what I bring to the table, and they have said, okay, we see you have this. Now let's look around at our company. Let's look and see what we have going on. How can we make sure that we leverage this, but also make sure that you don't feel like, you know, those resources that we may not tap into specifically with your role, that we have a way to kind of pull that in. And for a company to really do that, I mean, it's like, not everybody gets the opportunity to say that.
Give me some examples. Give me some examples of ways that they leveraged your talent.
Definitely. So once they figured out that did spoken word, let's just say the first instance. And Bob can attest to this because he's definitely one for the tag you're it, be ready all the time kind of person. So when Pam O'Connor retired from leading real estate companies of the world, we had a retirement party for her, leading real estate companies of the world, Reload Direct. We came together and celebrated her. Bob comes to me the afternoon of that and says,
afternoon of the event.
The afternoon. So this is where that Poetic Monday came in good. And says, hey,
but that's the thing, if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready, right? So it's like,
that's a word,
ready, right?
That's a word. Yeah. So he says, hey, how would you like to create a piece for Pam and present it at the dinner? I said, definitely. And so I went, wrote something. He came back and checked in. He said, you got it? I said, I got you, Bob. I got you. We get up at the dinner. He does his introduction, turns it over to me. I do what I do. Everyone blown away. Wasn't a dry eye in the place. And I don't say that to brag. I mean, that's just what it was. And that's kind of what I go for, is I try to speak to the moment and make sure that I capture what's needed for that time. And it went over so well, and that opened up more opportunities. But that was that one of those first instances where, you know, he trusted me enough and gave me the opportunity. He was like, oh, okay.
Was that before or after you were doing a lot of stuff on like LinkedIn and stuff?
So that was I think that was kind of during that time. So it's kind of like early on at Relo. I'm just starting to figure out that I can use LinkedIn in different ways. And I'm like, nobody else is doing this. Let me try. And, you know, they were noticing those things. And I was very vocal about it as well.
Well, so, but I mean, I think also what they probably realized, I'm guessing, is that they have a storyteller. And a storyteller is as much of a skill set as accountant, as salesperson, as ops person, as a marketing person. I mean, a storyteller is like a legitimate role. I believe that storyteller will be a legitimate role in 5 years at most corporations, because it's one thing to have a marketing person who does, like back in the day, we used to call it branding, right? And then there's a person that's a copywriter, right? And then there's a spokesperson. But it's like, take a spokesperson with copy and branding, wrap it in one, put them on the payroll instead of like hiring somebody, you know, on a one-off, put them on the payroll. And now they can drop commercials for you every single day in your company, instead of making it a $20,000 endeavor where you got to go shoot something. You hire an actor, they read something off a piece of paper, and then it's either great or it doesn't work. And then you just blown 20 grand. And now you have a storyteller on the payroll, and every day, Rapheal, every Monday, he can drop something. And it's just, to me, it's such an overlooked opportunity. And I want to just talk to people out there that right now that are running companies, that are in sales, that are in marketing, that are entrepreneurs. If you're an entrepreneur, become a storyteller. If you run a company, hire a storyteller. But storytelling is like everything. And you guys need to figure it out right now.
Definitely.
Oh man,
definitely.
That's awesome.
And, so
this is great. This is great. This is great. And I want to hear more stories. In fact, actually, we're having some people who are asking us for some spoken word. So, you know what my friend Bob always says is, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Exactly.
Eric is asking us, let's hear some spoken word. Do you got anything could you bless us with something right now?
Yes, I can. Yes, I definitely can. So let's do it like this. Let me do one. And when I was coming on, I made sure
you can do as much as you want.
In case.
You can do as much as you want. We got half an hour. You can rock out. We got 42 people on LinkedIn. People are like really digging this right now.
Yes.
Then shout out to everybody. If you haven't already, hit that little applause button on LinkedIn.
Please.
Okay, we need a virtual round of applause right now for
Rapheal. Hit the share button. Hit the share button.
Yeah, hit that share button.
Somebody needs to comment on this. So what I'll do is I'll do one that I did at the Relo Direct Corporate Forum. So this is the annual event where we bring together our clients and our partners, our suppliers. We discuss different things in the relocation arena, different things of that nature. So this is from, I think, my first year when I hosted and actually got a chance to perform there. So this one is called You First, which is actually one of our mantras and one of our main pillars at Relo Direct. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Here it goes. You came to a place with questions swirling around in your mind. You are intrigued. The avenues of your mind are open and ready. Answers to questions, solutions to problems, resolution, and an amendment amendment to the current trend. Lend me your attention because my position will enlighten you. You are in the right place, divinely connected to the connection, the resource, but also the source. Mobilizing yourself in the name of talent preservation, you look to keep and add to your organization. Nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, we are all trying to build brick by brick. We aspire to create the most beautiful business after pulling the concept from the catacombs of our minds, trusting the vision with another, allowing them the chance to hold it, closely watching so they don't drop the dream. Nurtured to a place of maturity, you search on how to support the next phase of growth. And that's all I'm gonna give y'all for that piece. All right.
Nice.
That's the teaser. That's the teaser.
Don't drop the dream.
Yes.
Did you say don't drop the dream?
Don't drop the dream. Don't drop the dream. And I think
this is fantastic.
Any company that's watching right now understands that your mantra, your vision, your product, whatever it is, that is your baby. And you treat it as such, and you don't drop it. Just like you're not going to drop a baby, you're not going to drop the dream. You're not going to drop the mission or the vision. And to try to bring other people into that, you have to be very careful and diligent. So we understand that and realize that. And so we kind of wanted to kind of put people in a comfortable place when they came to this event specifically at the corporate forum. So everyone seemed to enjoy that piece when we did it. So yeah.
That's great.
I like that hashtag. Don't drop the dream.
Yeah, seriously, don't drop the dream. That spoke to my soul, man.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. Jose Abali says that was nice.
Thank
a true
you,
GM, a true gem, very talented. Tom Bruin said Worldwide ERC had a very good slam poem as their keynote a few years back, but Raphael's at CRC that same year got a much better reaction from the audience.
Thank you, Tom. It's good to see you, sir.
Basically, Tom says Worldwide ERC has a check for you if you want to show up and do some poetry.
Hey,
for real.
And I'm here for it.
Receive the gifts, man. Receive it. This is fantastic. Yes. Diane saying how proud she is of everything you've accomplished there.
Diane. Thank you.
This is great. And then Evan, by the way, if you want to follow Raphael on Instagram, can you tell people how they can follow you so they can go check that out? Don't navigate away from this page because we are not done. Open another browser and follow Raphael.
People do that. Do not go away from this. All right. So you can follow me on Instagram at rmpoetic. That is my handle on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook that way. And then, of course, here on LinkedIn, you can just type in Rapheal Mathis and I will come right up. And if you want the links to all the other stuff, I think you can find that actually in my bio on LinkedIn. So if you go to my Linktree URL, it'll take you everywhere that you need to go. All right. So just do that and you can get connected with me that way.
This is great. Yeah. I want to hear your questions for Raphael. Second half of the show, we love to take your questions. So please let us know if you haven't already done so. Throw a little love out there to Raphael. Hit that heart button or that like button and throw some comments in here. Yes, go ahead.
Then, if you don't mind, there was a comment on here that I saw, and someone was like, "I'm not really sure what Raphael does, but I love it anyway."
Yeah, that was actually Henri Dussois. He's from France, so it might have been lost in translation. Yes, why don't you tell everybody?
Yeah, because I wanted to touch on that because it's so crazy how what my passion and within the workspace, how that kind of comes together. So at Reload Direct, I am a client service specialist. All right. So what a client service specialist is that they work with a client service manager to ensure that the relocating employee has a smooth relocation, whichever client that we're assisting with, government, private sector, what may have you. And so pretty much I am working on the back end, whether it's with suppliers, what may have you, to make sure that as the client service manager is working directly with the transferring employee, I'm making sure on the back end that I'm doing my part to make sure stuff flows, stuff is going well,
So
different
more like
things of that nature.
operationally instead of maybe like transferee facing,
Yes.
it's more
Yes.
operational and facing. Don't say
Definitely more
supplier
operational.
because all the salespeople in the comments are going to start DMing you like, yo, add me, bro,
Exactly.
add
Please,
me.
please, please not. Please not. I don't dictate any of that. Please don't.
Put Oliver's email in the comments.
Exactly. Oliver Dubester, please email him and he will get you squared away, which is a great guy. I love
Yeah.
Oliver. But basically that's what I do. And so the great thing that I feel like that my role kind of allows me to do and how it opens up for the spoken word and everything that I do and how the two go hand in hand is that some of the things that we as client service specialists are supposed to do. We're supposed to see the different pieces and look at the big picture. We're supposed to ask the probing questions to make sure that we're achieving good service at the end of the day. And so all of these things that I'm mentioning and so many of the key pillars of that role kind of go hand in hand with what I do with the spoken word. When it comes time where whether it's been for Reload Direct or leading real estate companies of the world where I have written something for them, those skills as a client service specialist, I'm asking probing questions. I'm trying to figure out, well, what exactly are you trying to achieve? And how exactly do you want this to sound? And how can we do that? And different things of that nature. Whether it's me being able to see the different keys and the different things and figuring out how that plays out overall. I had to think about that as well. So really, not only have I brought my skills to the table, but they have said, hey, let's help you sharpen what you have by operating as a client service specialist. And I honestly think I'm a better speaker. I'm a better working professional because of the different things that I've learned while being at Reload Direct. And I think that's so unique and so crazy how I think the two have kind of come together.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Really,
what's
really
funny
well.
though, but I mean, a lot of people would say like, "Oh, you want to be a spoken word artist? You know what you should do? Go be a client services specialist for a relocation company in Chicago. That's what you should do." I mean, but here's the thing though, right? It's like if you have a gifting, if you have a passion, you can find ways to apply that in anything you do.
Yes.
Right? You can bring passion. You could be a janitor, you could be a bricklayer, you could be whatever you want to be, but you can bring passion and that joie de vivre and everything that you want. You know what I'm saying? You could do both.
Definitely.
You don't have to give up one because
You don't.
I'm just a bricklayer. You know what I mean? You can bring that passion to it. I think that's an important thing because there's a lot of people out there that are probably watching this right now that are looking at what you do, looking at what I do, and they're like saying like, you know, these two guys are having a lot of fun, right? And they're 100% correct, you know. But
Exactly.
there's a lot of people I look at and they're not having a great time. You know, they're not having a great time doing what they do, and they do it because it's a paycheck. It pays the bills. They got kids in college. They got a mortgage. They got whatever, and it pays the bills. But it makes me sad because I'm like, man, I wish everybody enjoyed what they do as much as I enjoy what I do, or as much as you enjoy what you do. You know what I mean? And like what and I guess I mean we haven't really talked about this, but I mean, what kind of words would we give to those people? What would you say to people out there maybe that are they're kind of doing what they do and they're just kind of as we say back in the day, there's a Dunkin' Donuts commercial, right? I'm just making the donuts, right? There's people out there who's just making the donuts every day, right? But
Exactly.
what can we do to inspire them and maybe give them some maybe kind of a hope or an opportunity maybe to add a little more joy in the way they go about what they do.
Definitely. I would definitely tell anyone, and I say this because I have lived it. Um, do not think, to your point, Ben, that you have to abandon one for the other.
Mm.
Both can definitely exist. I think gone are the days where we have had to sacrifice our passions because they didn't exactly line up with our career or our professional life. But I think what media and technology and the current culture has done has said, hey, I can really do both. And if I'm really good, I can figure out a way for them to marry each other and be
Yeah.
able to do them both within the same space. So I would encourage anyone to think outside the box. You know, you have your job and the certain parameters that you have, but be intentional about saying, okay, I understand what my job description is, but still, how can my passion cross over into this? And if it works, beautiful. If it doesn't, then you say, hey, what can I do on the side, as something to still kind of sharpen that and fuel that I can still do in order to make sure that I'm still being everything that I was created to be. I definitely want to encourage you, and I want you to understand that you do not have to give up anything, but you should be using everything that you have.
I love it. I love it. And so you found a way to channel your passion for speaking, for inspiring people, for creating poetry into your job, to becoming kind of a storyteller. And I called you the poet laureate of the relocation industry. You know what? Let me tell you a secret, okay, Raphael? Let me
Yes,
tell you a secret. You know what? Shh, let me tell you a secret. If you say it enough times, it becomes true. Okay.
exactly.
So I've said it for the third time now. You're the poet laureate
Poet
of the
laureate.
relocation
And
industry.
I
Okay.
think the people need to put that in the comments. So everybody that's on here
Yes.
right now, put poet
Yes.
laureate of the
Poet
relocation
laureate.
industry.
Yeah,
Okay,
Google
type
how
that
to
in.
spell laureate. Google that. Put it in. Don't misspell it. Okay. You only get one shot. It's permanent.
Yes.
Put it in the comments. Okay. It is true. Tag him. It is so. Okay. You heard it here first. But so you do that. You do that during your what me and one of my mentors calls job one.
Hmm.
You do that during job one. You found a way to apply those things.
Yep.
But now, and this is really cool because actually Dory kind of stole my point here. She says we're fortunate to have leaders who support our dreams inside and outside the office, and I'm sure that makes a much more engaged workforce. But now outside of the office, you've also started to do more things
Yeah.
with your poetry. So tell us a little bit about, because don't you have like an album now?
Yes. Yes.
What is that?
So,
Are you dropping albums over here? Like what
which
is
is
going
which
on?
is
Like I'm kind of
crazy.
jealous, to be honest with
Yes.
you. Like
Yeah,
so
which is
what?
crazy because it's like spoken word album. Like what those two probably don't. Those two words probably don't cross over when you think of them.
But if
But
the two
definitely,
words go together, then it's already been done. You know what I'm
exactly,
saying? So do
exactly.
things that haven't been done. So go ahead. What tell me
So
about it.
I have an EP, which is an extended play that I released right at the end of 2020. So basically at the beginning of 2021, I guess you could say. But it's called Dear 2020. And basically there's spoken word pieces that I put, some music to it that really kind of capture and sum up what the year 2020 was for me. And I put them together, wrote the pieces, found a producer to help me with it, and pretty much produced it professionally and released it. And basically, it was my way of saying, this is how I view 2020. And basically, I want you to be able to see that. And if you can find comfort or healing or edification or insight through what I have put out there, then I've pretty much done my job.
And I feel like we all need that coming off 2020 and
Yes,
2021's been a bit of a tough road as well. So
definitely.
where can people find this? Tell us, where can people find this? And do you have, I'm gonna hit you up just one more time. Do you have a little sample that you could bless us with?
Yes, yes. So
You
what the
And
first
I like
thing I
how
would say
you
is
call it EP, like an LP, like you're using the old record terminology for everybody, so it applies to everybody. Everybody understands what's going on here. Go ahead, though.
definitely. So definitely first thing I want you guys to know is that you can definitely stream, purchase Dear 2020 on all music platforms. So you go to Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes,
So
Tidal,
random.
what may
So,
have you.
title.
Yeah,
What are you down with
yeah.
rock now? You're on title now. So let me talk,
I
man.
said I was touching everything. Amazon Music. If you
Good
type
music deal
in,
over here.
yes, if you type in Rapheal Mathis, Dear 2020, that is going to come up, and you can definitely do that. Bob, for you, you will get an autographed copy, definitely. But that's how
Love
you
it.
can find it. Also, if you go to, like I said, that Linktree URL should be in my bio on my LinkedIn account. That will also take you to the different ways that you can listen and purchase Dear 2020. But to bend your point, If you do want a little sample of one of the pieces,
Bro, you know I
I
want a
do
sample. Do I
have.
look like a guy that skips a sample? I go to Costco. I mean, I do that, bro. I do
Exactly.
that.
I love it.
Okay.
I
I do not.
love it.
Give me a sample. Hit me, man.
So
Hit me.
this one is the first track, and I think it's honestly one of people's favorites. Different people have different favorites from the EP, but this one is called "Quarantine" (parentheses QGT). So I'll just do a little bit of this, definitely, so you guys can have an idea of what to expect when you listen to that album. If you are swayed by the winds of the culture, they will blow negativity into your space. If the body is the temple, don't leave the windows open, but open up your vessel to receive divine instruction. If you are counting 2020 as a loss, I'll ask that you search the scriptures and remember that this earth was created in 7 days. From atoms all the way to Adam, from nothing to newness, our creator proved that he can create a masterpiece in minutes. If you believe that your life is no longer worth living, I've got news for you. Your road to this thought process is filled with lies. Remember, our adversary loves to imply finality on the temporary, but remember, our Savior has sovereignty. He didn't promise you death, but life abundantly. And I'm gonna leave y'all right there.
Oh
Leave y'all
man, I love it.
right
I love
there,
it.
right
I
there.
love it.
And basically, what that piece, if I could just let you guys know what that piece kind of
Please.
explains, is that quarantine, yes, it has been bad. It has given us all the made us feel that way, but quarantine has also released so much good to us. Quarantine has definitely been a blessing for some. It's been eye-opening for others. It's been insightful for some people. And that piece kind of lays that out and understands and kind of puts both right there and says at the end of the day, you should be extracting something good from this time of quarantine. So
Well,
if
and
you
I,
like that,
the thing I took from it,
Mhm.
is one thing that you said, placing finality on things that are
Temporary.
temporary.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that is so key to remember is this is a long game. 2020 was a year. COVID's it's gonna be a long 18 months.
Mhm.
It's gonna suck real bad,
Yeah,
for sure. But it's just 18 months. You know what I mean?
definitely.
Who
It's
who
just
lives
18
an
months.
80-year-old life and makes a decision based on 18 months of that life? Right? If I did that, I would have never had kids.
Exactly.
Okay. So the point is it's a long game, right?
Yeah.
And so I love that, right? And so you always have to look to the future and realize
Always.
this too shall pass, right?
Yep, this too shall pass. And if I could just tag on to that for a
Please.
second, like people like and I'll talk about the culture a lot because that's everything is a culture. We as a people we have different cultures and different things that we're part of. But I think the crazy thing about the media and kind of the downside to it sometimes is that we take in so much to the point that we get overwhelmed. And because we get overwhelmed, we can only see like this right now, the present. And all I'm asking you to do is extract yourself from that for a moment and realize everything that you've accomplished before this, and then realize that there's a future coming after this. I think if you realize and understand that and pull yourself out of the present, you're like, oh, wait, all right, I'm going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And I think you're right about looking at your past to look towards the future as
Mhm.
well. Um, and I think that it's important also, one thing I heard told is, and this is interesting, I find this interesting, but it's about kids, teaching kids about their past, and in teaching kids about their past, it gives them a long sense. So while they have a short life, right, it gives them a long sense and a sense of being part of something with depth in it, and in doing that, and you can't always do that, right? You can't always do that. I mean, my wife, her parents didn't really, she didn't have that lineage, right?
Yeah.
You can't always do that, but when you can, they can see the arc of the family and things have happened over time. And they know that there's, after the downs, there's ups, and after the ups, there's downs. So it keeps you humble as well. Right. And so I think that there's perspective in that as well. I really appreciate what you're saying right now. And I feel like it ministers to me. We got some people commenting here. I want to honor some of these people. Jack, what's up, Jack? Love you, man. Bring your passion in anything you do, but also recognize what complacency looks like. So you may bring that passion to something else you may want to do more. Interesting.
That's definitely interesting. I
interesting.
Like that.
Kevin says there's a future after this. Teach us.
Hey, Kevin. There is a future after this, definitely.
Betsy Ortolano, Raphael, every time I hear you speak, I get goosebumps. You're so talented.
Betsy, thank you. Thank you so much.
Isn't that cool to touch people like that? What does that feel like to touch people like that?
I mean, like I said, I definitely count it as an honor and a privilege. I don't take it lightly that I have the ability to do that. I hope that it's very sacred. If I'm being very honest, I don't play with that. And so whenever I get the opportunity to do that, and when I step into a space where I feel like I will be able to do that, then I make sure that I do everything I can to handle that moment right. That's how I always approach it. And that's how I will always approach. I don't think that will ever change as long as I'm Rapheal Christopher Keith Mathis.
Amen, brother. Own that. That's what's up. Man, this is awesome. Before we get into our top 10, which is also near and dear, what's up, Vinny? Shout out to you, Vinny. Love that dude.
Vinny.
What else? Is there anything else you wanted to talk about before we hop into this top 5? I should say. Anything else you want to shout out or spotlight?
I'm trying to think.
While you think about that, Chip says, Raphael, you are so engaging. Looking forward to seeing you at the next face-to-face CRC meeting, and we'll follow you on Instagram. Loved it. Great hour, Ben.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chip. I appreciate it. One thing that I will say, and I think I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but I'm definitely grateful for for like the upper, if I could say, the upper management, senior level at both Relo Direct and leading real estate companies of the world, because we work in conjunction together. I'm thankful that they have given me enough opportunities to feel comfortable with being who I am within the corporate space. One of my mantras that I live by is that poetry / spoken word belongs everywhere. It belongs everywhere. In my time in being with Relo Direct, and by default being with leading real estate companies of the world, they have shown me that poetry really can go anywhere. And so it has put more inspiration in me to keep searching it out. It has let me know that I can really speak to people and say, companies do care about the employees and what concerns them. You just, you have to search them out. Not all of them are bad, but really they understand the power of stories and storytelling. And they allow for me to do what I do in those moments. So shout out to them. If you guys are on here, shout out to you. I appreciate you. And I thank you for every opportunity that you have given me. And it is an honor to be able to bring my resources to this table in order to make our organizations better, because that's what it's all about.
You know what's great though, man, I second that honestly, and shout out as I'm silently streaming you on Spotify right now just to get those to get those spins up, right? Let's get those spins going, right? By the way, anybody who wants to fall asleep to this and just keep the spins going, just because put half a penny in his pocket every night.
Yes, the best 18 minutes, literally the whole thing in its entirety is 18 minutes, 20 minutes tops. That the small investment of 20 minutes will bless you for an eternity. So just want to throw that out there.
And shout out to the Relo Direct people too for understanding the power that this young man wields with his voice and allowing him, because it takes courage for you to obviously do this and take the stage, grab the mic and bare your soul and put yourself out there and everything you stand for. but it also takes a lot of courage for an organization to do something that is not done commonly. You know, we all want extraordinary results in business, and yet we are not willing to often do non-ordinary things.
That is so
right?
true.
So why do we think that we are going to receive extraordinary results when we continue to just copy other people?
You're talking the truth, sir. That's 100% pure truth.
Right. And so now we have to go inside and find what makes us truly unique, right? And that's what I love about you, because when you speak, it's obviously uniquely you. It's obviously you're not saying something that you read in a book and somebody told you to say. I mean, it might be in a good book, but you're not reading, you're not reading somebody else's blueprint. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You're doing you. And that comes across, and I think people respect that, and that's what connects with people.
Definitely.
John Marsh says, Raphael, you're a talented young man. Affirmation in the 4 acts is a thoughtful daily expression. Everyone should read. Real Direct's fortunate to have you representing them.
Thank you 100%. So much, John.
Tina Peterson. What's up, Tina Peterson? That's my realtor. Got me paid 3 days ago. Hit my account. What up?
Funded. I love it. Hey, Tina.
What up, Tina? Tina got me the biggest check I ever got in my entire life.
Hey,
shout out to Tina.
Tina's good people.
Praise God. Tina's good people. Diane, you've shown us, Raphael, lifting others, having a mechanism to guide others through trying times is a gift. That's what's up. All right. So we've had some deep talk. I feel full in my spirit.
I love it. I love it.
But you know what's not full right now? My tummy. Okay. So let's get into this top 5 right now. Okay, yes. Raphael.
Okay.
You picked you picked an amazing top 5 for us today. Everybody, if you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. And if you're watching right now, I want to know what your thoughts are on Raphael's top 5, because you know what? I'm going to tell you what mine are. I'm going to tell you.
Come on.
Okay. All right. This has been a very non-judgmental place for 55 minutes, okay? But this top 5 right here is very important. All right.
Yes.
Stacy, super producer Stacy, let's roll this top 5 here. Top 5 Chicago foods.
Come on, let's do it.
Woo! Top 5 Chicago foods. Now this is important. Tee this up for me. Why did you choose this topic?
Why did I choose this top 5?
Why was this your top 5, Raphael?
I mean, if I'm gonna be from Chicago, you can't have Chicago without food. You cannot. Chicago is one of the places where you can go to any part of this city and get good food. Different cultures, no matter what, you're gonna get some good food. So I dare not step onto this live stream and not talk about the food. That's what we're going for.
All right. Let's see what you got here. Okay. Number 5. Read it for me.
Garrett's popcorn. So if you come to the city of Chicago, especially downtown, there's a Garrett's everywhere. So people love the Chicago mix. You get your caramel corn and your cheese popcorn. Me, I'm a cheese person. I don't really mess with the caramel corn, but people go crazy for that nice mix of sweet and salty. It's a good thing. Very good thing. So that's 5.
Number 5. Okay. Hold on. Number 5 is popcorn.
Yes.
Now, it's good popcorn.
Good. Very good.
But I have to admit, the ceiling on popcorn is kind of low. It's good popcorn.
You haven't had Garrett's though. That's the thing.
What's funny is I don't know that I have had.
And that's why your ceiling is low.
I think I took a pee in a Garrett's one time. I'm not going to lie, down in the theater district, but I don't think I actually ate Garrett's. So you know what? In fairness, I suspect I don't agree, but I cannot officially disagree.
Yes.
What do y'all think? If you're watching this right now, Garrett's popcorn, is it deserved to be in the top 5? Yes or no? Throw it in there. Let me know. We're going to vote. Take a vote. All right. Number 4.
Chicken with mild sauce. Now, if you don't go to the right places in Chicago, you will miss that this is definitely one of Chicago's things. Mild sauce.
What is chicken with mild? What is chicken with mild sauce?
Okay, so chicken with mild sauce. Fried chicken, of course, fresh out the grease, nice and crispy. And then the mild sauce is barbecue sauce with some swag. Let me put it like that. Barbecue sauce with some swag. So you
put the swagoo over the chicken, and that's
nice. Okay. Let it drip on there, nice and It's beautiful, Ben. I'm
Is
trying
it
to tell you.
still Is it still crispy after you put the?
Yes. Yeah. Now here's the thing. I'm going to definitely give you guys a little hack when you come to Chicago and you find yourself at Harold's is my go-to. So please look up Harold's when you come to Chicago. They will definitely get you the chicken with the mild sauce. You want to make sure that whatever you order, tell them to fry it hard.
Fried
That way
hard.
the chicken stays nice and
Fried
crispy.
hard.
And when the mild sauce is on there, it still keeps that crispiness. Okay. All
Now
right?
what? Now I'm down with the fried hard. I'm down with the fried hard because in New York we was always like chicken wings fried hard.
Yep.
So what? But what cut of chicken are we? Is it a thigh?
Chicken wings.
Or
Chicken
wing?
wings.
These are
Yeah,
wings.
Yep. Wings are the go-to. Wings are the go-to.
Okay. So these are chicken wings fried hard with mild sauce from Harold's.
Yep.
I'll be honest with you, I never heard of this before, which makes me feel bad. This makes me feel
when
bad.
the world opens up and you come to Chicago, please let me give you the honor of showing you this and blessing your life this way. Okay.
I'm down. And you know, we got to invite Rory because Rory's tuning in. What's up, Rory? Shout out to
Rory. Understands.
Rory knows what it is. I actually owe Rory a dinner too. So okay. All right, bet. I can't say nothing. All right, let's do it. Number 3.
Okay, number 3. Chicago style hot dog.
Now explain for the people who don't know or don't know everything. What is on a Chicago style dog? What makes it special?
So now me per se, I don't get everything on there because I'm also a picky eater, unfortunately. But you got your mustard.
It ain't the Chicago
I'm sorry.
What do you leave off? You gonna tell me it's the sport peppers?
No, I get the pepper on there. Yeah. So you got your mustard, your relish, your pepper, your
sport relish. It's a neon. It's like a neon green relish.
Neon green relish.
Like a noble spill.
Literally. Your onions and the pepper. Now, do not, under any circumstances, ask for ketchup on a hot dog in Chicago. That is sacrilegious.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've done this. I've cussed out the hot dog guy with ketchup before. But
there are some places that you go to. There's this one place that I went to all the time with my parents. I don't go as much right now, but literally they have a sign in there with the ketchup bottle with an X through it.
Yeah,
like literally no ketchup in sight anywhere, not even for your French fries.
So wow, that's funny. So New York is very anti-ketchup on hot dogs too. So I feel you on that. Even though I do it sometimes when nobody's watching, the things I do in the privacy of my own home that I'm not proud of, but I do it. But I noticed you left off tomato.
Oh yeah,
and pickle. And a pickle. They put a whole
now remember that's the part. The tomato, I don't rock with the tomato, so that's why I forgot it. But yes, the pickle as well is very important. Please forgive me for all my Chicago people. Don't jump on me too much. But definitely the pickle is important.
And you know what else is important too that people sleep on? The celery salt. You got to put that celery salt over the top.
Definitely.
Because the hot dog doesn't have enough salt in it.
That goes without saying. You got to get just that little. You want to be able to feel it when you eat it.
And it's like it's a steamed poppy seed bun.
Yes.
Too. You get the little poppies in your teeth.
Yeah.
You got to
either way, whether it's the poppy seed or the regular one, you got to have a good bun to hold up all that delicious goodness. All right.
It's basically a salad on a hot dog for some
reason.
I don't know why they do that.
That's a great way to think about it.
Now let me ask you: is it Jimmy's Red Hots, or is it Vienna dogs? Because I got people in the comments going both ways.
I think it's both. It depends on where you go. Both definitely are ways to go. It just depends on the place that you go to. So
best place. Hit me with the best place. You told me Harold's for the chicken. So what's the best Chicago dog?
So there's a spot for hot dogs. It's actually called Jimmy's Hot Dog. I can't remember. It's somewhere west, like northwest-ish. But they serve Vienna style, Vienna beef hot dogs. But the name of the place is called Jimmy's, and that's where I used to go with my parents all the time. So definitely that's my spot.
Okay, Sarah D. DeVee calls it out. Jimmy's Red, the original Jimmy's Red Hots. Nice. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's interesting because they got Red Hots in North Carolina. But I thought it was a Vienna dog. So
yeah, Vienna definitely is another one in Chicago. It's like Vienna.
Portillo's. Somebody shout out Portillo's up in there. Bet. Okay, number 2.
Italian beef. Yes, Italian beef. So the way you do an Italian beef, you have to dip your Italian beef. So for those of you who don't know what that is, basically you take after you put the meat in the French bread, you take that entire thing and you dip it in the gravy that the meat has
Like an
come
au
out
jus.
of.
Yeah, that au
Yes,
jus
yes. And
sauce.
when I tell you opening that up, first the smell that hits you, my goodness. But then having that dip there, oh my
Oh.
goodness. It's just
And it's like running down. It's like running
oh
down your
yeah.
arm. It's
Yeah.
running down your
I
face.
definitely you have to be sitting down when eating this. Definitely have to be sitting. Don't drive and try to eat an Italian beef that way. You'll go wrong every single time. You got to have your giardiniero peppers on there.
I was gonna say
Yes.
jardiniere pepper, 100,000%.
Yes. Gotta have those on there. Some people get real fancy. Sometimes they like cheese on their Italian beef. That's when you get real
What do you
fancy.
think? What do you
I
think?
don't mess with
Cheese?
that. I go with the giardiniera and I dip it, and that's all I need in my life.
Is it a provolone cheese or is it a Swiss or what kind of cheese do people rock with?
Now that's the beauty of it. If you're a cheese lover, you can go either way. I don't think anybody's gonna judge you on the cheese. I definitely don't think.
Well, it's not like a cheddar though. It's not like
no,
an
it's not
orange
like
cheese.
a cheddar. It's like a Swiss.
Like a white cheese. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely that.
Wet with jardiniere. But okay, now
Yep.
What's the best beef? What's the best beef in the city?
Now, some people say Portillo's. I think Portillo's is pretty good. You know what? I'll just stick with Portillo's because that's one that I think everyone can agree on. Because
no, let's controversy, man. We need controversy.
Have your own. Everyone has their own little spots. So there's
what's your little spot? Where are we going, man? Where are we going, man?
Nick's Italian beef on the west side.
Okay,
is what
put in the
I
comments.
Would say is
put it in the comments. Look it up. Nick's Italian beef. Put a link in the comments for everybody out there.
Yes. So definitely, I would say look that up. But definitely, Portillo's does represent Chicago well. I will say there's not like where you get some staples of Chicago and you're like, I don't know why they are representing us. Because
I'm worried though, man. I'm worried though, bro, because it looks like this might end up on your review. Because Bob's saying owls without question.
See, and this is what I'm saying.
This is why you
people have their own things. Like that's the thing. So that's the other thing about Chicagoans. When they have their spot within that food category, they will go toe for toe with you on why their spot is the best spot. That's the beauty of it. Let me tell you that. Well, I'll wait for that story after we tell the number one, because then I have a story that goes. This
is about to devolve into like a Cub Sox beef, exactly. A Cub Sox beef in the streets right now.
I'm going to get a question about this later. Bob is definitely going to ask me about this.
Yeah, Bob's going to be like, great show, Raph, but about the beef. Hey, you might get a lunch. You might get a lunch with the boss out of this deal.
Exactly.
Like, hey, let's go down to Al's. Let me show you what's up here.
Yes.
Let's see here. Evan's saying don't sleep on the beef and cheddar croissant. What is that, Starbucks? I don't even know what that is. What is that, Evan? What is that? No, don't come in here with that.
Hey, like I said, that's the fancy stuff. That's when you're drifting over into the real fancy area. That's what that is.
That's that good hair. Evan with the good hair over here coming in with that. I'm saying LOL. Yeah, no, this is good. This is good. All right, man. Drum roll, please. Number 1.
Pizza.
I think this was
pizza.
I think people saw this coming.
Yes.
Now, what makes a Chicago pie so good?
Now, I will say we have deep dish here in Chicago. Deep dish is what we live by. But the crazy thing about me is that deep dish is not my first go-to. I'm a thin crust person. Now, I will eat deep dish, but thin crust is where I call home. So
and I think a lot of people are like you though too. I think because like
they won't admit it.
Deep dish is where you take people from out of town.
Yeah,
it's like what you do a special occasion, maybe, I don't know, but people aren't really rocking with a deep dish on like a Tuesday night.
Yeah, no. Now people will swear by deep dish, and they will probably stone me for saying that I like thin crust. But you know what? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Now, the crazy thing, and it goes back to the Chicago people. The story that I was going to tell was that I went out for my birthday with some family and friends. We were at this steakhouse downtown Chicago, really nice, expensive food. And we get into this discussion about pizza. And we're like talking about this is the best pizza place. What about this pizza place? Da, 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 da. And this really nice, fancy restaurant, all this amazing food. And we're arguing about pizza. That's the beauty
Did you
of
get the
Chicagoans.
check? Did you get the check at the appetizer and just bounce and go get pizza?
That's what I should have done. Enough money had already been
away.
spent at that point. I couldn't abandon it. I couldn't abandon it. I had to go with what was in front of me. But that's Chicago people for you. Like, we hold our foods dear to our heart. So I know some people were talking about the favorite type of pizza in Chicago. Now, my favorite is not the ones that people normally go with. You get people that say Giordano's. You get your people that say Lou Malnati's.
Yeah.
I think some people like Uno's Pizza. That's like downtown area.
Which became a chain, which everybody is probably their only exposure if they've never been to Chicago.
Exactly. But my favorite pizza spot is out here on the south side where I live, southeast side, Italian Fiesta. Italian Fiesta. Thin crust pizza. Thin crust pizza. You know, a little greasy, but has a good flavor to it. Oh my goodness. Love it so much. So much. Now, not a lot of people know about Italian Fiesta. If I got some Italian Fiesta people here in the comments, we need to definitely link up and we need to connect. So definitely drop that in there, because those are the real people to me. You know, some people live by the Giordano's. Now, Lou Malnati's is also really good.
Solid. Nothing wrong with it. It's good.
Their sauce is really different, but also very good. I don't know what it is, but it speaks to me. It speaks to me.
They have like the whole, like they have the big tomato chunks in there, and it's tangy. It's got goodness going on too.
But Italian Fiesta has my heart, so that's what it is.
Okay, so rank the three most popular. I'm trying to get you in trouble. Rank the three most popular deep dish, because we just because
deep dish.
Are you okay? I got so many questions. One, when you rank pizza number one, are you referring to thin crust or deep dish?
For the sake of not having a revolt in the comments, I'll say pizza in general. Let me take the politician's answer here, okay?
Because you cannot in good conscience sitting up here with somebody who grew up in New York, you cannot in good conscience sit up here talk about thin crust pizza number one
in Chicago.
I just can't. Let's assume for a second you're talking about deep dish, okay? Which is what people know. Let's assume that. I want you to rank the three most popular for me. Okay, so you got Lou Malnati's, you got Giordano's, and you got Gino's East.
Okay,
right?
So out of the top, I would say Lou Malnati's comes first for me.
Okay,
Giordano's second, and then East. Gino's East. Those are that's my prerogative.
You know what? I agree with you. I agree with you on that. That's a good note to end it on. This is fun. People are loving this right now. People are starving. I think you're like boosting the economy in downtown Chicago right now.
Exactly, literally. Everybody's gonna order. And today's the day to order pizza because it's snowing outside. Nobody wants to cook, probably. They probably want somebody to deliver to them. So go ahead and support your businesses because, you know, pandemic has been hitting them hard. So order from
I don't know what it is about Redhead Piano Bar, by the way, but it is a relocation staple. I don't know if we're always staying in hotels down there on the river or whatever, but everybody ends up at Redhead. You know why? Because Redhead's open till 4:00.
Okay.
And it just it's off the chain. Now, so shout out to Redhead.
At 4:00, anything's probably tasting really good at 4:00.
Yeah, except they don't have food. But I mean, unless I don't think they have food. No, they don't have food. You're just making options at that point. Ben, you treat us to pizza Chicago. Did I, Erica? Sounds nice to me. Brandy says, good answer. I guess we'll be keeping him.
Brandy is the director that I was talking about earlier. She's the director of client services. Yes. So thank you, Brandy.
People saying it was this Pequods?
Yes, that's another one that people like. Pequods in Chicago. Yeah, that's another one that people do enjoy.
Diane put a Pequods.
Yep, and she actually put the link.
She put the link. People shouted out there.
He said,
This
I would
is
do
fantastic.
better than tell you. Here's the link.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I tell you when I can show you. There you go.
Yes.
All right. This has been so much fun, Raphael. We went a little long, but that's cool. Ton of people tuned in today. This is fantastic.
Good
If you haven't
stuff.
done so already, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that applause button, send a little love, hit that heart button out to Raphael. Raphael, I want you to leave us with a final thought, man. I mean, this has been a lot of fun. Just leave us with a final thought. If you don't mind.
If I could, I will let you guys know to, especially during this time, understand what your true purpose is. Once you understand what that is, go after it relentlessly, and have fun at the end of the day. There's a lot of things that are coming against us as humans. If you can make sure to have fun throughout all of it, find reasons to smile. And like I said, find your passion and go after it with everything that you have. You'll have a great life. You will have a wonderful life, and it'll be a life worth living. And your life is worth living. So
Amen.
Definitely do those things
Amen.
and go for it. Yeah.
Let's live it to the max here and love one another fully. This has been fantastic, Raphael. I really appreciate you being here. Shout out to everybody that was active in the comments. The show is always 1,000 times better because of you out there. So thank you for taking time out of your day to be here with us and participate in the conversation. I appreciate y'all so much from the bottom of my heart. This has been a wonderful show. I've had so much fun. Tomorrow we've got Bridget Blandon from the United States Postal Service on. Can't wait to hear her. Her stories are phenomenal. Can't wait to have her on. It's going to be a great week. So good to be back with y'all. Thank you. Love y'all. Have a great week. Stay warm, everybody. Stay safe.
Bye, everybody.